Hey then guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 22nd of June 2022. Going to do the evening review, Bitcoin, Binance, the usual. I'm not going to go into the post analysis on Powell's testimony. You guys will know by now that obviously I spend a lot of time on charts, and I feel and believe that it's the purest form of analysis that you can do. I also feel that over the years, my analysis and my calls on the markets and every sort of major market turning point, that I've been discussing throughout that time, has been pretty much bang on. So there's something there, I'll kind of say it like that. It's not for everybody, obviously, and I certainly don't want to take away from other types of analysis, but I just want to say, for me, it's not about dissecting what he said. It's about, do we see the reaction on the chart? In this case, no, we don't. Obviously, we've had a little bit of a downturn. You can see we're currently sitting around about 20,300 or so on Bitcoin and around 217 or so on Binance. Binance is holding up just a little bit more than Bitcoin is, but ultimately, for me, I'm still seeing, a little bit of stability down here, but nothing, that would excite me in the sense of, taking a move to the upside. Now, if we do start to run higher, we may get something like this, probably kind of somewhere around this sort of area on Bitcoin between 24 and 26,000. If that's the case, the first place it's going to want to go is above these highs just here. That currently comes in roughly around about 23,000. But again, I'm not expecting too much. There is still a real possibility that we kind of meander around here a little bit like this and then eventually just start to run deeper into this liquidity pool, challenge this low, and start to drive towards 17,000 to 15,000. Again, for me, it's a question of, are we seeing relief from this area down here? No, we're not. We're not seeing anything that really stands out. We're not seeing anything that makes us think, wow, this is a real move. We're just seeing this kind of long, drawn out kind of nothingness. US equities have been holding pretty well today. I was expecting a little bit more of a drop today, but so far, US equities are kind of doing okay. If we just take a look at the actual numbers themselves, you can see that the NASDAQ is up around about, 100 points, about 0.85%. Dow's up about 0.4%, 0.5%, and the S&P is up around about 0.6%. Nothing really to shout home about, but plenty of void below on US equities to really start to get things moving to the downside. Be aware of that. So going forward, we still have, Powell's testimony tomorrow, 3 o'clock GMT time. Definitely something we need to be mindful of and aware of. After that, then it's just a question of, assuming he gives his testimony tomorrow and nothing really happens, and let's just say price stabilizes around here, there's not really much else to do other than kind of wait for the weekend for that volatility to start to pick up and see where we go from there. But the same theme applies. Patience, just wait for something to happen, because to be honest, anybody that's trying to engage in this area is getting chewed up in this, all right? You're getting chewed up in this up and down. If you try to buy it here because you're like, okay, it's going, and then it comes back down, you're like, okay, no, it's not going, and then it starts to turn, you're like, okay, it is going, and now it's not going. This is the type of trading and kind of analysis that really chews people up, especially on these lower time frames. Stay on the higher time frames, wait for price to really do something. Because, for example, if we look at the daily chart on Bitcoin, if price pops, for example, and is sitting around 25,000 and holds, that's a strong day. Yeah. Now, that type of candle, respective to the daily chart, has way more strength and way more weight, than seeing it on a 15-minute chart, because we see strong candles on the 15-minute chart all the time. They don't mean anything, unless you're super scalping and trying to take pennies, which is super dangerous anyway. All right. No real change on Binance either. Pretty much everything I've said about Bitcoin applies to Binance as well. And then if we take a look at Ethereum again continuing to show a little bit of extra weakness. I think Ethereum's pretty weak, and if we're looking at Ethereum to be the precursor to everything else that's going to happen, in terms of its weakness, then I would expect the entire market to drop, because this is looking like it's going to be, a strong, if it's not this week, then potentially next week, or maybe we kind of grind here a little bit, but then fall out of bed and start to drive towards that sort of 735 level where the liquidity is and where there's an open imbalance, which price is going to want to fill. So that's the analysis for this evening. Not a great deal's changed. Patience. And I will trying to think when the next update is going to be. There will be an update tomorrow morning, but I'm just thinking in terms of maybe doing a live session because it's around about 3 o'clock where Powell's testifying. If I can jump on at 3 p.m. GMT time, then I'll put an announcement out. Just depends on my schedule. We'll kind of do a live session, maybe watch the markets while there is, the announcement happening and he's kind of yapping. Maybe get it on as well and just have a feel for what he's saying. So with all of that said, I hope everyone's having an absolutely beautiful, fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next update. All the best. Take care. Ciao for now.